Hello and good evening. Welcome to the Oval. We have quite a few things to talk about given the eventful week leading up to tonight's episode. We will be discussing George Papadopoulos' guilty plea and Kevin Spacey's assault allegations, both of which have dominated media coverage. So let's get started.
So George Papadopoulos pleaded guilty to speaking with and meeting with Russian officials.
He lied to the FBI about doing
been
that
going on
to
since
begin
early,
with.
like March of 2016. The timeline started of the corrupt action.
He was arrested, I think, over 3 months ago, and this has only came to light today.
Right.
So this has been going on for a while, and we found out about it today. So in those 3 months or more, what could have possibly happened?
You know,
like a lot could happen.
Donnie's a sketchy man. And when I say Donnie, I do refer to the president as Donnie. So instead of speaking out and saying, "Oh, my associate did so and so," he goes on to say, "Sorry," and I quote, "Sorry, but this is years before Paul Manafort was part of the campaign. But why aren't Crooked Hillary and the Democrats the focus?" So you're digging yourself a bigger hole by saying just this. So that means you're guilty of knowing this. So, what do you think is going to happen after?
So just to clarify, Paul Manafort Paul Manafort and his partner Rick Gates, they pleaded not guilty to money laundering. So that's a separate case from.
It's a separate case that just so happened to come out today.
Right.
So all of it is kind of just adding fuel to the fire, saying, okay, Russia and the United States have been in contact with officials, and
despite the president on his own Twitter saying after that tweet, he said, also, there was no collusion.
So there's technically no evidence.
Well, basically, our president has really great and indestructible Twitter fingers. If we all know that.
Of course.
So he likes to really go off, even though he's 70 and he has a fake hairpiece. But it's okay, because as we move, it even shows, it said that Rick Gates was actually the protege of Hannaford for a long time. So it makes sense that now it's basically Gates is falling under the trap of Hannaford, and that's where they're both pleading not guilty. Meanwhile, the other guy pleaded guilty. So really, it makes it really peculiar that all these people are on the same team, but now they're basically just ratting each other out. So it shows you that how unstable the government is with Trump in the White House, and where it's going to go, it's probably just going to lead to even more scandals, even more just unethical behaviors.
More staff probably dropping,
like flies. Yeah, it's how is that going to lead to stable control? It's ridiculous.
So George Papadopoulos was actually Trump's foreign policy advisor, and he's the one who pleaded guilty of lying to the FBI about Russia. Whereas Paul Manafort was Trump's campaign manager, and he's the one who pleaded not guilty for money laundering.
Yes.
So ultimately, there are a lot of people within Trump's campaign that are doing illegal things, and I think that just brings to question, why does our president associating himself and picking these people who are doing a lot of illegal activities?
As we know, Donald was never a politician.
We're on first name
basis
now. We talk about Donald so often that's
Donnie.
Because we know him as the corrupt New York leader before he's the corrupt presidential leader.
Exactly.
But even it goes back to how recently came out with Facebook, even talking about that, how Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg were under fire because apparently they sold more than $100,000 of sponsored advertisements to Russian-affiliated agencies relating to promoting Trump and just trying to put their agenda on down people's throats on basically that website, because they sold more than ads and they're under fire.
The whole entire narrative of fake news, everything that comes out against Donald Trump is fake news, and we've heard it on Twitter.
Yeah.
We've heard
This is fake news.
We've heard it everything.
This is fake news, but
we have emails from the foreign advisor George Papadopoulos. He said, we need someone to communicate that Donald Trump is not doing these trips to Russia. It should be somebody in a low level in the campaign to not send any signals.
Now let's talk.
That's not
shady. That's
That's
shady.
That's not what a
Extra
president
shady.
not to mention that Trump, after saying talking about Paul Manafort, the tweet that you said that he wasn't in his campaign at that time, he said, let's talk about Crooked Hillary. Let's talk about the Democrat.
He's very quick to deflect it.
Hillary Clinton is not the president of the United States.
Not the
you
president.
are the one associating yourself with corrupt leaders. This has nothing to do with Hillary Clinton.
Let's talk about justice. So this is a crime against the United States. Any crime against the United States of America should be an offense where you should be locked up for the rest of your life. Now, the sentence that they've gotten was 105 months in prison or in jail. First of all, that equates to what, 15 years?
I think it was more than 180, but yeah,
It was
just
151.
regardless, still,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be like.
That's a slap on the wrist.
It's a lot.
That's
Like, people do a lot more less harmful things and get 20 years. Someone may have got caught in their car with marijuana. They're going away for 20 years.
Yeah.
Somebody just ratted out some information about the United States. Oh yeah, we're gonna send them away for 15 years. And you want to know why people get rowdy. People say Black Lives Matter. People just go off because there's not a way that everyone is equal. That's not equal. If I sold some secrets to Russia, I'd rot in jail. They're getting 15 years. Their commissary is going to be good. They're going to be treated well. So
have the money to get out
So
of it.
Exactly.
what do we want to see happen in terms of justice, given that that's verified, that what they did was 100% illegal, that there was collusion, that there's evidence? What do we want
I
to
think
see
that
happen
Donald Trump
after
should be
this?
impeached. The process should start,
Right.
even under
I think we would love
ship them to
I
Russia.
think, I'm rooting for that.
But Donald Trump technically isn't even involved in this right now because the light is not on. I feel
Right.
like a lot of people, I don't like Donnie, but I will say that this isn't about him right now.
You're right
But
in
it's
that
because of him, though.
I disagree just in the fact that these are the people that our president is choosing to fill these positions, and
Yes.
they transcend the light directly on him.
No, I 100% agree.
Regardless, the penalty should be high because this is like this election, especially the last year, the political process was unlike any process than in the past in terms of the U.S. government. Like this presidential election, and this presidency under Donald Trump has changed the way that even people growing up now, like our peers or even like younger siblings, they view government officials. Like it's basically a joke. Like he took away all the integrity and honesty from it. So I think that the penalty should be even higher because he basically just corrupted the entire. Like just how people view the importance of the president.
We want to see this case move forward. I think Thursday is when their case is being heard, and again, they're remaining to their not guilty plea. So we're going to see what's going to
And
happen.
who knows what George Papadopoulos is like? Considering he's the one who's been cooperating, he's apparently been cooperating with officials since July. So who knows how much more information he's giving up to them, and who knows what they'll do because of it. Now we move on to one of America's most famous actors, Kevin Spacey. He's been around for nearly 30 years in Hollywood cinemas and television shows. He's most prominently been starring in House of Cards, a Netflix exclusive series, which has toppled ratings, perceptions, and even just breaking records. He's been in numerous other movies, such as American Beauty, which won numerous Oscars and Golden Globes. So as we're moving on now, it came out that when he was 26, Kevin Spacey, he sexually abused and made sexual advances on actor Anthony Rapp when Anthony Rapp was a mere 14 years old, in the middle of adolescence, just a young, innocent kid. So, and then after all these allegations came out, Kevin Spacey then used this platform to come out as a homosexual. And nothing wrong with that, of course. Everyone is beautiful. But why would he choose this? What's up with this poor timing? What do you guys think about this
particular
entire
moment, yeah.
situation?
Scapegoat. That's basically what it is.
Horrible timing.
Because why is it that excuse me, why is it that as soon as you get found out about the things you've done, this is the moment that you choose to say this? He's basically, I guess his mindset was, oh, if I come out now, then I will find some type of sympathy in the stuff that I did.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't erase the fact that you were 26 and the young boy was 14. That's an age difference that's disgusting.
Yeah, sexual preferences have nothing to do with the fact that you were still a grown man in your late 20s and you abused a minor, a teenager. It has nothing to do with anything like that. It's still just a hard crime. He basically just, he made a disgusting crime on a child.
Yeah.
I definitely think the timing in which he made that statement was insensitive and inappropriate. However, I don't really think that it was a scapegoat. I wouldn't say it was a scapegoat because he didn't. Obviously, the events that happened were unforeseen. He had no idea that Anthony Rapp was going to come out and say, well, Kevin Spacey tried to seduce me when I was 14. So I think it was an on-the-spot decision, kind of like a panicked decision. I don't think it was okay. I don't think it was okay at all. But I think that my issue was in the statement itself. because he could have came out in that very moment. I think that would have been okay, but I think he should have shed more light on his actions, saying what I did was wrong. And he did say that, but he was very quick to jump into the other part where he's like, but I'm also gay.
I think this is such a huge hit on the LGBTQ community because you cannot conflate the two issues. They are not related. You cannot say, oh, I abuse a 14-year-old boy, I'm also gay, because there are going to be people who want to connect those two things, and that is such an awful thing for the LGBTQ community who have come so far in creating, a great space for
straying
people.
away from that.
Yes, and straying away from any type of negative light. And I just think that that's the problem with the timing, that you can't conflate the two issues.
For the longest time, it was like people were linking pedophilia and homosexuality very strictly, very closely, as well as, just vilifying homosexuals for just about everything. But, in recent years, it's gotten better for the LGBTQ community, but there's still a lot of strides that, a lot of things which need to be done, and so something like this is a major setback, because now it gives so many people so much to say about it, and linking the two things all over again.
I think the underlying intention wasn't to say, okay, maybe people won't attack me if I say that I'm gay, if I come out as gay. I really don't think that was his intention. Again, I'm not defending what he did. I think it was completely wrong, but I think the statement itself, the words he used, the way he used them, and the way he published it was completely wrong.
I think that he thought because the person who stepped forward was a male, that this was the time, okay, people are going to question this, but let me also go delve into it a little bit more. Let me kind of use this as, I'm already getting the media attention, let me use this as a way to bring to light a serious issue about myself, except he didn't realize the implications on the LGBT community.
It was very selfish.
It was, regardless, though, he was a 26-year-old. Like, why go after a 14-year-old? By 26, he was already breaking in the industry. He already had his own income. Why go after a 14-year-old?
I mean, regardless of age.
Yeah, that's
you
hard.
just don't do that at all.
But also, regardless, in terms of like, it still was a hard crime. But if thin-headed people decide to think any differently about LGBTQ people, everyone's the same. It's like if they think that this is gonna if this changes their opinion on people, humans in general, then they're the ones that are wrong. It shouldn't affect the community at all.
Do you think after this,
sadly it will, because people have just different thoughts. Like, everyone has different thoughts. It shouldn't, but it probably will cause a controversy.
This is ammunition. This is now ammunition for conservatives to point at this particular instance and say, hey, look, this is why gay people shouldn't have the right to get married. This is why we can't support this. And that was such a selfish position to put the LGBT community by Kevin Spacey.
Well, it also just shows too, it just shows that even in Hollywood in general, a lot of allegations and controversial topics have been coming out about the very venomous climate in Hollywood in terms of actors and actresses. So this just even
Harvey Weinstein.
Stepping away from this. That's still
and it blows my mind.
It just shows that people in Hollywood are really predatorial with that. It's disgusting.
Because there's so many like young children
trying to make
teenagers trying to up and come in this industry, and you're scared. This will scare a lot of people away, because as a parent, I want my child to be successful, but at the same time, I don't know what's happening when they're going to film. Say they're filming in another state. I don't know what's happening. There's grown-ups all around, and who's really gonna listen to a kid, a 14-year-old? Of course, nagging. I'm bored. Blah blah. Probably try to say it to get a rise out of people. So who knows? He may have said something when he was young, when at that age, but everybody brushed him off. You know what I'm saying? So. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it depicts how deep-rooted these issues are in our society. But what I think is so great is that things like Harvey Weinstein, that this has emboldened people to really come out. And it's, I'm just curious to see how many more, unfortunately I don't want there to be any more, but how many more people are going to come out.
Oh, a lot more is going to come out, because Harvey Weinstein wasn't the first.
No.
It won't be the
He's
last.
paying people off for years. Sadly, there's still probably, God forbid, things going on right now. Hopefully not, but it's just like, even like Hollywood in general is still can be very misogynistic, and you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. A lot of people, especially executives, take advantage of their power in terms of young actors, and they try to just show their position of power. And they try to put it on people and take advantage, which is it's just sadly probably will go on, but it can't. There needs to be more awareness on the topic so changes can be made.
Right. You guys know The Shining, that movie, The Shining.
Yeah, of course.
I forgot the actress's name, but there was a scene in The Shining
Sherry
where
Rhodes, I might be wrong, but yeah.
She explained that she didn't want to work with the director because
he was highly abusive.
Highly abusive, and there was a scene where a really sexually aggressive scene where he didn't tell her it was going to happen. He didn't tell her what the scene was.
And that was her real reaction.
And that was her real reaction. First of all, that's something that you should let all of your actors know. Even though you want a great reaction, that's not something that you do. So imagine those tactics. You don't know what they're doing in Hollywood. We don't know any tactics that other producers and directors do. So all in all, I think it's wrong, and a lot more is going to come out, unfortunately, because there are tactics that we don't know about that they use that are pretty heinous, but they want the movie to be like top notch. You know what I'm saying?
But we have a special group guest. Pitch Slapped is here to perform one of their songs and talk a little bit about their music.
Hey guys, so we're here tonight with our amazing all-female group here, Pitch Slapped. I just want to know a little bit about yourselves.
So we're the all-women's a cappella group on campus. We were founded in 2012, so we're still kind of a new group here. And yeah, we rehearse like every week with each other, and we have shows on and off campus. And then we actually have a big show coming up on November 18th where we're going to be fundraising money for hurricane relief. So come see us.
That's pretty fun. Yeah.
I can't sing. Can I join anyway?
Come on in.
Okay, awesome.
And what songs are you going to be singing tonight?
Today we're going to be singing It Ain't Me and Cheap Thrills.
Amazing. I can't wait, and I'll probably be crying in the back, so I'll let you guys do your thing.
Thank you
so much.
Who's waking up to drive you home when you're
Hit the dance floor, I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, I ain't got cash, I got you, baby. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. I love cheap thrills. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. I love cheap thrills. I don't need no money, as long as I can feel the beat. I don't need no money, as long as I keep dancing. La 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 la. La 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 la. I love cheap thrills.
Awkward ass.
Okay, so that was amazing. Bono and I were basically like holding each other like and crying. But that was just really incredible. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you women come back to visit us because I love you all so much and I want you to serenade me to sleep. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, pitch slap.